Hello and welcome back to my channel. So in my last video I spoke with you guys and shared that I was having laparoscopic surgery done to ensure that my fallopian tubes are open in order for me to conceive after the issue reversal. And it turns out that my fallopian tubes are closed due to scar tissue from the surgery where the doctor made the incision and reattached my fallopian tube into my ovary. So yeah, that's the reason why I haven't been able to conceive after my issue reversal. And the doctor did tell me that the possibility of that happen is it's basically there. I am saddened, disappointed, and hurt because I've been trying, and I wish I would have known all of this a long time ago and not have to deal with the frustration of tracking my ovulation, trying to conceive, taking fertility drugs, and everything else that has been done during this process of trying to conceive. So I have some documents with me from my surgery, kind of showing pictures of my ovaries. Looks a little weird, kind of can't really make it out, but it's just basically him showing that there's no blue dye, nothing being spilled out. Overall, my ovary and tubes and uterus seem to be healthy and good. The only issue is the scar tissue, which is the blockage connecting the fallopian tube into the ovary so I can release an egg and conceive. So I have the documents here from my surgery and what the doctor put. My surgery basically was an outpatient. It was where they go in through your belly button to go in with, like, I guess the robotic claws and the video camera where they can go in there and not have to actually make a big incision and open your stomach up, which I was grateful for. But basically on here he just put that I was released with closed tubes, and it's pretty much what happened the day of my surgery. I was pretty bothered because I know a few months ago, if you look back at other videos that I've done, I went for an HSG back in 2017, I believe it was, to check if I had open tubes, where basically they inject liquid iodine dye in through your cervix through an x-ray. They can see the spill of the iodine going in through your fallopian tubes and out into your ovaries, just like spilling out. So I had that done and I went back, and like I said, it took forever to get results from that procedure from my doctor, and I had it done over the phone. And then I went in for a follow-up and he told me, well, they're spilled, one of your tubes doesn't seem to have as much spill, but the other one we did see spill. And that's when he prescribed me Clomid, which is a fertility fertility medication to help you release more eggs so you can conceive. And left it at that. And he told me that's when my husband got his sperm checked. I got my cervix checked. We both had everything done and everything checked, and he told us we were good to go. So I'm very upset and bothered that I come to find out now that my tubes are completely closed. And when I sat with him yesterday, with my husband there, my husband was pretty upset as well, because we did pay $6,000 out of pocket cash to have this procedure done, where he told us that your chances of conceiving are high. So here we go, having paid this much money, and for him to tell us that my tubes are closed due to the incision where he sewed my ovary back into my tube into my ovary, and that's where the problem is. So there it basically means that the doctor sewed a little too tight and it just healed that way. Or naturally, not even to put blame. I'm not going to put blame. Let's just say, naturally there's scar tissue. It's going to happen. Okay, it's done. But what bothered me was the fact that even after the HSG, he told me that I was good to go and have a baby. And next thing you know, I actually go and have a conversation with him yesterday. And he says, well, when you had the HSG, it did show your tubes were closed. They were both no free spill, nothing came out. And when he did the laparoscopic, it confirmed that there wasn't any spill. So I was pretty upset when he told me that, because clearly he wouldn't have recommended me fertility drugs and told me that I was good to go and that everything was good just last year to conceive, meaning that I've had to endure the stress, the frustration, the letdown of trying to conceive for more than a year because of something that he said we were good to go for. And I've spent a lot of money. I've gone to so many appointments, and through those appointments I've had to pay as well. I've done so many testings even after the HSG where he told me that I was good to go. And now come to find out, he's telling me that I have to do the whole surgery all over again. Basically, like if he was removing the the Esher, he's going to have to go back in. He's going to have to cut the tubes again open, and he's going to have to sew them, like put them back together. Or I think he said that he was going to allow them to heal on its own, like naturally attach. So I'm frustrated because a lot of insurance don't cover process or anything that has to do with infertility, because that's what it's considered when you're trying to conceive and you're having all these issues. And he's telling me that I'm having to pay another $4,000 to do the exact same surgery all over again that he did back in 2017. So he's trying to see if my insurance covers it by basically putting that it's scar tissue that needs to be removed that's causing me pain and discomfort, to see if the insurance covers it. So with that being said, we're waiting on that call. We should be hearing anything either today. I'm going to give him a call and see if the insurance covers it or not, because if not, this is basically where it all ends for a while, because I don't have $4,000 to pay for surgery that I paid $6,000 for back in 2017 to do it all over again. He did tell me the other option is insemination, but that's $10,000. So imagine mine's and my husband's frustration, and just that's basically where we are right now. I honestly am just being patient and just praying to God that this insurance covers the surgery, and I'm having to have this most painful, uncomfortable surgery all over again. And for a lot of you, if you've seen my videos, my surgery for Esher reversal was not like others where they did it laparoscopically and it was a quick healing. Mine was a whole new incision being cut as a C-section, going in through my walls, rearranging and moving my tubes and over it. It was the most painful surgery, and I was traumatized by it. I ended up in the hospital due to complications from the surgery for a little over a week, and I'm petrified to think that I have to go through all that pain again. And not even that, this surgery itself had a lot of discomfort and pain itself, where I just was miserable. Doing a little better now, but I am also still having some kind of a reaction to the surgery that I had around my belly button incision. But just to rant a little bit, I do feel a little disappointed with this doctor because he hasn't really been giving me clear answers and responses to either lab results, to how procedures are going to go, what's going to happen, what needs to be the next step. Like, for him, everything has been, for him, the way he speaks, it's more of not trying to take blame for anything, more like, oh, well, I'm confused, it doesn't make sense, and every time I would ask him a question, it wasn't really, he wouldn't answer direct. He would move it around like he was puzzled and confused. So my husband saw noticing that and was very upset and very clear with him and told him, what is the answer? Like, give it direct, because you're just going around knowing that this was a mistake that you made. And the doctor kind of just stayed there, and he's just like, well, now he's trying to see if he can fix it to where the insurance can cover it so he can do it again. And I'm a little hesitant about having him do the surgery again, because he tells me the guarantees of it happening is 50-50, basically. And it all depends on how he closes the incision. So I'm just frustrated at the whole process, the way he approached this since 2017 after the Isha reversal. He's guaranteed me, he's told me, and my husband, everything's good, you're good to go, you're okay here, and try this and do that, and everything that you guys have probably gone through yourselves when trying to conceive, with medication, temperature, body mass, like everything. Like I'm just overwhelmed, because I've been trying, and I would have gotten pregnant a long time ago if I knew what the problem was. And that's what bothers me, that he didn't tell me, hey, when I had the HSG right after I had the Isha reversal, just 3 months after, your tubes don't show free spill. You're not able to conceive right now. We need to do something. We need to check. Maybe the laparoscopic surgery that I had done last week, I could have had it done 2 years ago, when he saw and noticed on the documents that my tubes didn't have free spill from the HSG procedure. Instead of prescribing me fertility drugs, like if I'm good to go, and tell me, hey, you and your husband are in the clear, you're able to conceive. So for me, it was a big letdown, and I felt like I was betrayed, because he lied to me, and I had to wait 2 years to get the answer that he knew all along and just couldn't tell me. So I don't know if this is about getting money, or the fact that he messed up and he tried to see if maybe I just gave up and went somewhere else, to a different doctor. But I just feel hurt and betrayed by this doctor, and I honestly, there's more to it. I have all the documentations. I got all my medical records from the hospital and from his office, just to show that even after he knew what the problem was, he continued to allow me to come make appointments for this issue, which is trying to conceive and not getting pregnant. And him not telling me the honest truth. And it's not like he's right down the street from me. He is 2 hours away from me, and it's 2 hours that I have to take out of my day to go and come back to get a result that he knew all along, and the surgery and everything. So I'm pretty upset. And I also, like I said, with the surgery, it went well overall. The surgery itself, just the recovery was a little rough, to the point where he put gauze over a sterile tape that needs to allow the stomach to heal and properly. And they give us procedure that you can't take it off. It falls off on its own, because it's one of those materials that you just can't peel. It's stuck to your skin until it wears off on its own. So from that, the nurse herself that discharged me was just like a little puzzled, like, why is there a gauze over, how are you supposed to take the gauze off? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, okay, just try not to wet it until you go to your follow-up. So I went to my follow-up, and that's when the bandage was able to come off. But I am having some kind of a reaction. I can try to show you guys. Sorry, it's a little irritated, and if you see the little plastic thing, it's still kind of the tape that's still stuck. But if you see, all this is irritated, itching. This is part of the band-aid. The glue that they use is still kind of peeling off. But again, he didn't really use the proper sterilization and left the gauze there underneath something that needs to breathe and heal on its own. And when I went for my follow-up, because that's really what the appointment was more for, to tell him, hey, I'm having this issue, it irritates, it hurts, it itches, and I completed my antibiotics, I did everything that I was supposed to, and all he can tell me is well, it could be that you're allergic to the tape. Just next time we'll use paper tape. But wasn't really a big help even in the situation with the way this looks. He says he gave me steroids medication. He's like, that should clear it up. My husband asked him, what if this doesn't clear up with the steroids? Then what? He's like, oh no, it should. It'll be okay. So at this point, it's like I feel that I'm not getting the answers that I need to help me. It's more he's just saying things just to say it. And like I said, I've withheld, from you guys that I haven't been feeling too comfortable with the doctor since I've started with him. He told me, when I asked him, when I had the Isha reversal done, I asked him, I was like, how many people have been able to get pregnant after the Isha reversal? He told me, well, there was just like one case that where she wasn't able to get pregnant after, and it was due to her age. So I was like, okay, it gives you high hopes because here he's on the news, he's on, online bragging about how he has a high successful rate of doing the Isha reversals and people getting pregnant. So tell me why yesterday, yesterday morning when I went for my follow-up appointment with him, he slowly starts slipping and saying, how he's had so many cases that it just scar tissue happens and they're not able to conceive. So again, you know what they say, never believe everything you see online. But to me, I believed it because it was a video and interview that he did about how he's able to do an Isha reversal and the success rate is there for conceiving, to now telling me, even after I'm the one going through it, that there's many women going through the same situation as me, that he's done the Isha reversal but they haven't been able to conceive because of scar tissue. So to me, it's like, which one is it? Are you good at doing Isha reversals and helping people conceive, or you're having a lot of trouble doing Isha reversals for people and then they're not conceiving and they're having to do more procedures and more things until they just basically either do insemination, pay 10 grand per procedure, or they just give up and just don't have kids anymore. I kind of felt like that's where he was with me, where because I wasn't conceiving and I've been trying all this other stuff, maybe I just had given up and I wouldn't take notice that, hey, there is an issue and you just didn't tell me, you weren't clear about it. So if I recommend anything to all of you that have a doctor and are dealing with Isha reversal, ask questions, ask, and make sure you get a clear, confirmed answer, because if not, you might be where I am, where your doctor couldn't give you a clear answer to many of your questions, and because he was the only doctor closest to me, which is 2 hours, I had to settle for this doctor because he says that he's done it and he has a successful rate with the Isha reversal and conceivement. So I honestly, at this point, like I said, I am waiting for the response from the clinic to let me know if my insurance is going to cover the surgery. And if so, I have to basically really, really, really think, with everything that's happened and the way I've been feeling about this doctor already, if I should trust putting my ovaries and my tubes again in his hand. If not, I am actually going to have to start looking for another doctor to see if he's able to repair the damage that's done already from where he sold my tubes and my ovaries back together. And it's both of them. It's not just one, it's both. And he told me that if he was to do it, he would have to go deeper and cut more off my tubes. And I'm just like, is that the solution? Like, just keep making it smaller until basically I have nothing, or makes it, worse for me, where I have to have a hysterectomy or something, because that's not what I want. I want to have a child. And I'm sorry for ranting. I'm disappointed more than anything. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I'm just very, very disappointed that here a man that really is and says and even prays with you before surgery and everything, a man of God, couldn't give me a truthful answer and has allowed me to endure suffering, letdown, disappointments for the past 2 years. And even made me have a surgery that I might have, like right now, I'm having complications from this surgery with the irritation. Hopefully it's not anything worse. All because he couldn't own up to the mistake that he made and said, your tubes are closed back in 2017, 3 months after my HSG, which was plenty of time to let me know, the only thing we can do now is just go in and remove the scar tissue. I would have been happy with that. But I'm just like I said, I'm just disappointed that he's taken 2 years to tell me this and had to have an unnecessary surgery to confirm what was already confirmed 2 years ago. So I just wanted to share that with you. I really don't know what else to tell you right now except that I need to wait for confirmation for my insurance to cover the surgery, and just discuss with my husband whether I can find another doctor that can do this procedure laparoscopically, because I hear from some of you guys that you're having surgery where you have the same issues with the scar tissue, and they're going to go in with laparoscopically and put a stencil in there to kind of open up your tubes and keep them open. And I discussed that with my doctor, and he told me that that's not a high success rate. That's really just not doing anything. It's not gonna, no one's gonna conceive with that, is what he told me. Because one of you, many of you have shared with me, hey, I'm gonna have it done, and this is how they're gonna do it. Because I do want to find other alternatives than having to cut me back open C-section way and put me through all that pain that already has me traumatized. So when I told him about that procedure, where you can go in laparoscopically, use a stencil, open up and clear the scar tissue, he told me, you can't get pregnant. They're just going to put it on the side of the tube where it's really not going to do anything whatsoever. So either he's saying that other doctors using that method is useless, or he's literally just making me go through unnecessary things and surgeries and procedures and pain and bills and pay cash and everything to do it the way that he wants because it's more expensive. So I'm not sure. I said I am ranting a little bit because I'm disappointed. I feel betrayed and hurt by this doctor, and as of right now, I'll have to hear it from the office, and as soon as I know that and do more investigation with other doctors to see if there's other methods that is not going to put me in danger or give me complications or problems with surgery, and if I'm able to do it laparoscopically with the stencils to open and clear scar tissue, I would much rather do that, because I know there's a lot of women that have had their tubes tied and have untied them naturally, not even with the E-shear reverse or anything. They get scar tissue and they're able to do stencils to help them conceive. So I'm going to try to see if I can research more on that method and see if I can find a doctor that's willing to do that for me versus this one. And just go from there. I'm out of words. I don't even know what else to say anymore. And I really thought I can trust this doctor, and I just feel like I've been let down, and I'm disappointed because I'm having to wait. I'm 28. I'm still young, but I don't want to be late 30s having and trying to have a kid. So I want to have them now that I'm ready and I'm able to, physically, financially, mentally, versus when I'm more stressed and tired and exhausted and just older. So, and I'm not against, women having kids older or anything like that. It's just a personal preference for me. And I know a lot of it has to do with just naturally your body, and people can't have kids, and if they magically, not magic, but a miracle happens where they're able to conceive when they're a little older. And, I'm grateful for that for them and everything. For me personally, I really want to have them now, especially when my husband and I have been trying and my children want them now, and I want them to grow close in age, instead of waiting a big difference where they're not going to have that same connection. So, but I leave it with you guys with that. I'll make another video as soon as I hear more information and find a different alternative to where I am able to really get a clear answer to my questions and just know that everything's going to be okay, and I'm able to get closer to conceiving and not waste my time anymore. So, sorry for this long video, just ranting, it's just expressing, and yeah, but I'll leave you guys with that, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.